Aloha, everyone. Well, here we are again in the car on the way down to my sales meeting, and I wanted to talk to you. How's everyone's summer going? What's going on with you guys? Any vacation plans? Any exciting things? Anything great that's going on in Santa Cruz I should know about? So, what do I want to talk to you about today? I have been recently speaking to some people. Some people are returning clients. Some people are new to me. And I'm seeing a little bit of a trend, and I actually wrote about it in my newsletter. By the way, how do you guys like those newsletters? I'm wondering, do you read them? Because I write them myself, and I put a lot of heart and thought into it and how that could resonate or affect or educate you. So I'd be curious to know if you do, and if you get one, just write back, hey, thank you, or thumbs up, or whatever. I just curious if you guys do read them, if they bring you any value. I'm sure that they're a little bit more thought out than these videos. That's all I have to say about that. So the thing I really wanted to talk to you about today is what I wrote about, and the reason I wrote about it was talking to these families. And so I'm just going to spell it out right here. In 2018, the median home price was in the mid-8s. So when I look at the numbers from our Santa Cruz Association Realtors, they range between $800,000 and $900,000. And then by 2022, those values had jumped up to, like, at the peak, 1.6. So 48% equity gain in that time. Huge gain. I mean, life-changing. So after that, interest rates started going up and things started changing. You know, COVID, the world that we live in now is just totally different. Businesses started shutting down. Anyway, all that to be said, things started, softening in the market, the real estate market, and people weren't really saying it. I certainly was, but we were seeing a slow change. And so today, the median home price is 1,449. So peak 1.6 down, and that's like a 7% decline. Now, that does not mean that people have lost money if they bought before 2008. They've only made 41,000% equity or 41% equity. But those who bought in 2023 and since are seeing very small margins of profit. Sometimes it's a wash, sometimes even a net negative. And those are really hard conversations because sometimes people need to move for medical reasons, sometimes they need to move because they're relocating, and sometimes they want to move their asset. A family that I was recently talking to is looking at moving an asset from the Walnut Creek area to here, and they asked me, like, what do I think? And I think, they're not losing one asset, they're gaining one, and it really came down to, like, well, why do you want to sell this? And it's too much for them to be landlords in an area that they feel is far away from them. So I guess the question is, do you sit on it until you have an equity built to the property, or do you shift? Because if you're selling in a higher market or when things are up, you're also purchasing them. So I went to chat because I wanted to have a real conversation of, like, what does that look like? And I said, hey, chat, like, what would a mortgage payment be